Pnc News First is presented by the Bank of Guam, the People's Bank. Pizza Hut, we're taking pizza to where it's never been before. Taco Bell, the only place where you live Moss. Colgate, the #1 brand recommended by dentists. And IT&D.
PNC News First, broadcasting live in high definition from Tumon, Guam on KEQI and KTGN and on KPPI on Saipan. Here is your PNC News team.
Half a day you're watching PNC's News First. We're live from our broadcast center in Akanta. I'm Ayana Shed. Thanks for tuning in. Topping our newscast tonight. Congressman Michael Nicholas finally broke his silence over allegations made by his chief of staff. Let's take a look.
San Nicolas described these allegations as stemming from a number of various local government officials who are currently under an active FBI investigation that was initiated in December or January. San Nicolas said, I quote, "During this period, my office was contacted and threatened to take certain actions in order to avoid political attacks. We refused, and I immediately engaged the FBI. The investigation is ongoing to include the recent actions taken against me and my family these past several days," end quote. San Nicolas said his office maintains absolute professionalism and welcomes any formal complaints to be filed, as they trust the outcome of the federal due process system will reveal that none of these have any basis. He said local politics is dirty and that he trusts the federal system and welcomes anyone who wishes to engage his office on those terms. He said, and I quote, "We remain focused on our work to include the planned introduction of Organic Act amendments, which we believe further precipitated these attacks. We will not be deterred by dirty local politics. We serve the people and we will never sway from the work that we need to do to strengthen our island," end quote. Days after the allegations of the congressman using campaign funds to fund outings for an extramarital affair, the congressman's former staffer and campaign chairperson says that he will ask the Guam Election Commission to conduct a complete audit of San Nicolas's campaign finances. According to John Paul Manuel in an interview with Andrea Pellicani on News Talk K57, the congressman would use vague terms such as marketing to explain the purpose of such expenses.
Well, the Guam Election Commission, like I said, should do a full audit of his campaign finances, see all the receipts for all the things that he has reimbursed himself for. I can go over with them and explain to them all the things that were inappropriate. I'm sure that they can see that on their own because a lot of those things are personal meals, personal, the hotel room in Manila.
As for the ongoing FBI investigation the congressman outlined in his statement, Manuel says that he has not been contacted by federal authorities. Amanda Dedicatoria, PNC News.
Manuel adds that he met with a lawyer today to review actions regarding the case. The Guam Police Department Criminal Investigation Division detectives have arrested a man for 2 home invasions and criminal sexual conduct. According to GPD, detectives conducted a follow-up on 2 home invasion complaints that occurred in the Toto area on Monday, September 2nd. Preliminary police reports suggest that the suspect had unlawfully entered 2 homes in Toto, in which 2 female adults had reported to police that they were sexually assaulted by the male suspect. Detectives learned that during the course of the follow-up investigation that a female minor had also been sexually assaulted by the same suspect. GPD learned that the suspect committed the same acts 4 times between August 18 and September 2nd. The suspect was identified as 34-year-old Lucas Buequia. He was arrested and charged with home invasion, 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct, and 3rd-degree criminal sexual conduct. He was booked and confined. Littering has been a long-standing issue on the island, but one man has made it his goal to keep our island clean. Let's check in with PNC's Amanda Dedicatoria for more.
Half a day, I'm Amanda Dedicatoria from the Pacific News Center, and we're here at the Liguan Terrace Park, a place where people used to play tennis and play at the playground, but for some has become an illegal dumping site. For months, Anthony Mendiola, a concerned Derrida resident, has been visiting the 3 parks in Liguan, armed with a box of trash bags and a rake to pick up the bottles, beer cans, and food containers thrown around the property from the night before. Since the start of the school year, Mendiola has been focusing most of his efforts on Liguan Terrace Park 2, which has seen significant dumping in the form of discarded mattresses, white goods, and broken furniture.
It's just disappointing to come out here every other day and stuff, or every day to see trash that still piles up. I mean, even after hard work and everything like that. So, yeah, I'm just trying to reach out to everybody about this trash that's just polluting Derrida area itself.
Mendiola says that some of the people contributing to the issue are those who drink alcohol or hang out at the park during nighttime, which are hours when monitoring the park is difficult. Nick Lee, the public information officer of the Guam Environmental Protection Agency, says that illegal dumping is a widespread and long-standing issue and is prevalent throughout the northern areas of the island. He adds that illegally dumped waste could promote the breeding of mosquitoes, become host to rodents, or pose a potential fire hazard.
Everybody on island needs to be responsible for managing their solid waste properly. There's no good excuse for you to go into a jungle or into a river or stream and dump your waste. There's just no good reason for it.
According to a statement from Richard Ibanez, the director of the Department of Parks and Recreation, the agency has been in frequent contact with Mendiola and has assisted him with giving him supplies and assessing the park's condition. Ibanez says that he is appreciative of Mendiola's efforts and will be working with the police department to deter people from dumping and drinking at the park facilities. In turn, Mendiola encourages the public to help him address the dumping in Liguan to make these parks safe for not just the children in the area, but the community as a whole.
Hey, this is our island. You come here, we stay here, in this island and stuff. We need to take care of this island because it's just getting too much and stuff with all these trash all around.
Amanda Dedicatoria, PNC News.
Thank you, Amanda, for that report. In other news, the minimum wage bill will possibly be on the next session agenda. According to Senator Regine Bisco Lee, the Guam Legislature's Committee on Labor favorably reported out Senator Joe San Agustin's Bill 136-35 to raise the minimum wage. The measure, also co-sponsored by Senator Lee, seeks to incrementally raise Guam's minimum wage from $8.25 to $9.25 over 2 years. The first 50-cent increase will take effect in March of 2020, with a second and final 50-cent increase taking effect in March 2021. Lee says having this bill prepared for the session floor is great timing, coming off the heels of the Labor Day celebration. Lee says this is an opportunity to recognize the hard work of the working people in the community and give them a bump in their pay.
We understand that working people and our business community are both struggling, and so this is our opportunity to meet the needs of our wage earners, those who work very, very hard, many multiple jobs, and really help to support our working families, and this is an opportunity for us to do so.
According to research conducted after Guam increased its minimum wage to $8.25 in 2015, 65% of surveyed businesses did not reduce employee hours to compensate for the increased pay. Additionally, 75% of the businesses did not reduce their number of employees. Lee says that session will most likely be at the end of the month. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed the fiscal year 2020 budget bill into Public Law 35-36 this afternoon. Senators of the 35th Guam legislature passed the budget bill late Saturday night. After voting, Senator Therese Terlahi said the over $954.8 million budget that they passed is not perfect, but it does have some good things in it, including the addition of 50 new police officers. However, some senators were not happy with the budget process. Senator Tello Taitagui pointed out that they had less than 2 weeks to debate the single most important policy call of this term. Some key initiatives were maintained in the measure, however, some funding levels were reduced. Nevertheless, the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is willing in good faith to work within the limits of the fiscal year 2020 budget. Well, coming up next on News First, the Mayor's Council mulls over Guam's stray dog problem, and the CCU approves the new power plant contract despite some heated exchange. Those stories and more. Stay with us.